Hey folks, so in my opinion, I think that everyone, whether you eat meat or not, should experience culinary field to table. I believe that there's something lost in us as a culture from not being a part of this process. No longer going out with our grandparents and hunting routinely to get that meat in the fall to store it up for the winter. No longer helping grandma kill the chickens and clean them and cook them. I think these kinds of things have led to a grave misunderstanding around our food and our food culture. And with all that's happening in the world right now around food security and, let's say, the lack of, learning these techniques of how to hunt, kill, and process are paramount. Now, another thing I've been seeing a lot in our culture is the disconnection to source. Most folks, when they talk about spirituality or religion, it's something they've read in a book. It's not something they've felt in the forest. It's not something that they've seen in the eye of a bird. And I believe that this disconnection is one of the biggest mental health crises that we face right now. I believe it is the foundation for so many of the depressions and anxiety disorders and just outright anger that we see in our culture right now. I know that there's a lot of things going on. I know that prices of fuel are up. I know that food prices are going up. I know that there's war everywhere, and then there's disease, and there's all this stuff that's freaking people out. But I think the basis of a lot of this stuff is disconnection to source. And there's not a lot that connects us to source more than connecting with our food. Whether it be you're harvesting apples every fall, mushrooms every fall, berries in the summertime, rabbits in the right season, which is any season. I believe that in doing so, these rituals, these yearly rituals of harvest, connect us to the seasons in a way that nothing else can. And I believe that we can read about this stuff and we can see it online, but until we have blood under our fingertips, until we're cutting an organ out of an animal with our own knife, and then we're flavoring that soup, whether we're basting that creature over top of a fire, whatever it is, the process, the journey, I believe is where we get all of our wisdom and connection to source. I believe that there is a huge amount of us that is lost without that process. As animals, we've been hunting, foraging, and gathering for millennia and longer, together and on the solo. And every one of those moments, every single one of them, helps us to grow in some way. And I believe that having this process brought back into our culture is extremely important. So if you get the chance to go hunting with your kids, to forage wild edibles with your family, I can't see any reason why you wouldn't do it. I realize it's a process to learn, but that's why you find people that know and have them mentor you through this process, being that this is something we need to pass on to our children, to our grandchildren, and beyond. This is not only something about food security, but this is, again, like I said, this is our connection to source. Our connection to source keeps us healthy, not only in spirit and mind, but obviously in body. This creature here that I'm butchering spent its entire life living off the land and eating wild game, eating wild food, drinking the water it found. And I'm sure there's contaminants from once in a while here and there, but it doesn't even compare to the contaminants that are injected in our meat on a regular basis, whether it be hormones, antibiotics, or poisonous grain food. So get out there, folks, and step into this new evolution by training this method of field to table. Get to know your food and have your family do the same. All right, you guys, take care.